Yo, 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 content creators. Hello and welcome. All right, hopefully we're live. Give it a sec for people to join in. Make sure everything is good, looking good, sounding good. Um, um, all right. Okay. So just making sure everything's looking good. You guys should be in the app. You'll probably hear some slight noise in the background as I'm running another live. If I've mentioned before, I'm Eugene Bush of E-Tre Productions, the creator and owner of the Content Creators app here, and also a social media manager for influencers, producer, film producer, award-winning film producer at that. Thank you so much to my wife's film, Mediator, that won several or two film festivals and it was entered into Cannes. So well accomplished in this area of filmmaking and content creation. And I'm excited to have you guys here in this app, whether you're watching it live with me right now or whether you're watching the replay later on. Every week I come on here to really hone in on things that I've seen that are currently happening. It's not enough for you just to get fed the trends or hear the videos that need to happen. I want to make this a very personal experience for you that not only can you be fed, but you can also get more value out of the app and out of what it is that I do by addressing issues or hurdles that people may be having as it pertains to content creation, and elevating your career through your content. Right? And so the topic of today, what I want to talk about is what I'm calling the psychology of the lens. Now, I'm calling it that because I haven't been able to find the exact psychological term for what happens when you get in front of a lens, right? But I've seen it occur and I've seen the result of this phenomenon, right? I've seen it so much and we have experienced it, like we're actually living through it, and I'm going to attempt to explain it to you and then show how you have the ability to take advantage of the psychology of the lens as well. Okay, so the phenomenon that I'm talking about when I'm describing, and if there's any psychology experts out there, you can help me drill down the exact name for this, right? But the phenomenon that I'm talking about is it's very similar to when you're walking through an airport and you see somebody in a pilot's uniform, right? Your mind automatically assumes that they're a pilot, right? Because our brains try to take, what I do know is our brains take the road of least resistance, right? We try to just make a quick determination of what's happening in our surroundings, what's happening around us, and so we don't do a lot of research and digging. We just pretty much take a lot of things at face value, okay? So if you walk into an airport and you see somebody in a pilot's uniform, you're not gonna assume that, oh, this is a pedestrian in a pilot's uniform. You are assuming they're a pilot, right? Much like if you're on the street and you see somebody in a police uniform, you're going to assume without ever asking credentials, seeing their car, seeing, you know what I mean? You're just going to assume that they're a police officer, right? The same thing happens if you're in a conference, for instance, in a room, and you're sitting in the seat and all of a sudden somebody walks on the stage. You assume that somebody who walks on the stage is either supposed to be there, or since they're there, if they grab the mic and start talking, they're in authority. They've been given the authority to be on that stage and to speak into your life. And so subconsciously, we give people who are on the stage permission to speak to us. We lend a listening ear. We lean in a little bit more with what they're saying. Versus somebody sitting next to me, right, and they start talking, you probably want to shush them, right? Like, oh, hold on, something on the stage is happening, right? Because the stage has priority, right? We subconsciously give it priority because that's, if you're on stage, you're in lights, then you must play that part. You must be someone of importance that I need to pay attention to, okay? That's the psychology of the lens, right? I would go so far as to say, when you do the same thing in front of a camera now, where you put yourself in front of the camera and you begin to speak. Now, whether you know it or not, you evoke this phenomenon, right? People are more prone to believe that you're someone I should listen to. Or even if they listen and don't agree, you prompt a response in people because, hey, you're exercising this authority and this position in an area that now needs or justifies a response. Okay? It's something about when you put yourself in front of a lens. Now, whether that lens be a great camera, a nice lens, or if it's even a camera phone lens. When you put yourself in front of that camera, right, you unknowingly put yourself in a position of authority. Okay? And by putting yourself in that position, you are now giving the people on the other side of the lens, now the recipient, the consumer, you're evoking something in them psychologically that says they have to give way to what you're saying or what you're presenting or, kind of your art, right? Now, giving way doesn't mean that they're going to like it, they're going to agree, right? Because that comes with criticism and opinions and all that kind of things, which why a lot of people get stage fright, for instance, right? Because they're scared of that criticism, like the response that they get back from evoking that psychology. But the fact is, if you want to be looked at a certain way and positioned a certain way, you've got to start putting yourself in front of the lens and recognizing that this phenomenon exists. That those who are in front of the lens are very similar to those that are on stage, right, at a conference, or wearing a pilot uniform or wearing a police uniform, right? I was reading another article and it was talking about the psychology of binge watching. Now get this. If you binge watch a TV show, right, something psychological again happens, right? These are just human instincts. Something happens when you start binge watching a show is you ever get that feeling of like, okay, I can watch the first episode, watch the second episode, but shoot, let me just get one more in. Okay, let me just get one more in, right? What happens is when you watch an episode of a show, and if it's good to you, you get physiological things start to happen. You start getting dopamine hits. You start getting hits of encouragement, like things you like, right? Whether it's a pleasure drug, right? You start getting hits of dopamine when you finish. And of course, if you know there's another episode, you're like, oh, I want that rush again. I want another hit, right? So you can become addicted to the dopamine, to the pleasures that show gives you, which is why people binge watch. Now, something similar happens when you create content. Okay? If you create content that actually encourages people, that changes people, that entertains people, right? You evoke that same principle. And how the article put it says, your body does not discriminate against pleasure. It can become addicted to any activity or substance that consistently produces dopamine. I'll say that again. Your body doesn't discriminate against pleasure. It can become addicted to any activity or substance that continually produces dopamine. Right? So, knowing that this is what happens to your body, and this is why you are more prone to binge watch a show, or to be around that friend who continues to talk really well of you, or whatever gives you those dopamine effects, right? If you recognize that that's what's happening in you, recognize that that's also what's happening in others. They can become addicted to any activity or substance that consistently gives them dopamine hits. So if you decide to do that, right? If you say, I want to be an actor, or I want to do poetry, or whatever the case may be, you want to write a book, right? If you consistently do that, you can get people addicted to you because it doesn't matter what the activity is, what the substance is, human nature is, people will become addicted to anything that consistently gives them dopamine hits. right? So these are the things that we want to flip, right? As a consumer, a lot of people read this and hear this and they're like, oh my God, it makes sense. This is why I'm going through what I go through. But on the flip side, you want to think as a producer, these are the things that we want to work on our behalf, on our favor. We want people to be addicted to the dopamine hits they get from consuming our content consistently, so then we can get their money, right? I say all the time, if you can get people's hearts, you can get their minds, you got what's in their hands. And if you get what's in their hands, you got their pocketbook, right? Now, the goal should not be, let me just get your pocketbook, right? We want followers for a bigger purpose, right? I really believe that the answer to all the hate in the world is more love in the world. A lot of people try to reduce the hate, right? And I don't think the answer is to try to reduce hate. I think the answer is to increase love. So the answer to a lot of the issues that we see online, with all the hate that's going on online, or the ills of the world, mental health, physical health, right? A lot of the answers to all the ills to me is not to decrease the sickness. Of course, that would be great. That's a good option. But I feel like the real answer is to increase the answer, increase the solution, right? Increase the alternative, right? So if you had people who are talking terrible or racist about a particular race, gender, or whatever, then the answer is not to shut them up. The answer is to just be louder in the love and the support for that race. Which is why I completely support Black Lives Matter, right? Not just because I'm black, but you're highlighting a race and a group of people more, escalating them more because of the amount of hate that they're given. So since you can't attack the hate, the way you attack it is you provide more love for that particular group, okay? Same thing when we see a lot of the issues online. If you're ever scrolling online and you see like, man, the music out here is awful, the message, our children are awful, right? They're lost in their ways. Well, the best way to combat that is to create more content that gives dopamine, that gives support, that gives love to the alternative, right? And that's one of the main reasons why I do this app. One of the main reasons why I get on here every week, whether one person shows up or 100 people show up. I've committed to get this message out about the power that you have in your own social media platforms, because social media is more than just something you do on your pastime, right? It's more than just a platform that people do. It is a super dope, effective, viable means for you to get people addicted to you, for you to put out a message that can dwindle the messages of hate and everything else, right? It's a means for you to market, right? And I just heard this recent as well. Sales, right? So now we're switching gears. If you have a product, a service, a career goal, right? To get that out there, to get the money, you usually have a sales department. You have a sales manager. You have somebody that's actually selling what it is that you're putting out. Well, the other piece is marketing. And a lot of people don't know the difference between sales and marketing. Sales is very much one-to-one. It's I'm on the phone with somebody, right, and I'm selling them, right? It could be that way, right? But it's very much one-to-one. It's transactional. You're trying to get them to convert, right? Not necessarily a cashier, but someone in a department store that walks around to you and talks to you about, oh, what clothing would you like to get? And all, and they can evoke certain strategies in a one-on-one basis in order to get you to move across that decision-making line, right? To cross over to purchase something. That's sales. Marketing attempts to do the exact same thing, but except doing it one-to-one, it does it one-to-many. So the goal of a marketer is to take that same message that you would talk to one person and talk to a bunch of people at the same time to try to get the multitude to convert, right? That's marketing. That's exactly what social media is. Social media is code word for marketing. How do I get, instead of just selling one person on my career, my dream, my movie, my book, my t-shirt line, how do I get many people, right, to believe in this? And we say consistency is it. Well, now I've given you another gem, another way to think about that. It's not just consistency for consistency's sake. It's consistency because of human psychology, because of the way humans are wired. We are wired to be addicted to anything that consistently gives us a dopamine hit. So if you can get me dopamine hits over and over and over and over again, I'll fall in love with you. If I fall in love with you, you got my heart, and then therefore you have my hand. Okay? And that's how you lead people. All right? So I hope that makes sense. Very quick lesson. I am on my way to Miami, Florida, to speak at the Black Equity Con. I'm super excited about it. I'm going to be speaking to a large group of people about TikToks. Now, of course, TikToks to me is not just TikTok. It's actually code word, right? What I'm sneaking in this TikTok class is going to be the fastest way to get the most amount of attention organically. Okay? And by organic, I mean you don't have to pay for it. You're not buying ads. You're not buying anything else. You're just using the platform and the leveraging what they've already set up and what they've already done to your benefit. Okay? To get those dopamine hits, right? Case in point. There are certain sounds that are trending, right? If you go to the community area, I just posted up over a dozen yesterday. I've got more I'll be posting next week, right? But every week I'm posting up those trending sounds. Now, the trending sound isn't just trending because somebody put it out there and they thought, let me pay for it to trend. That's not how trending sounds work. They're trending because there's something in the sound and the dance that these people do and something. There's something I don't know exactly what it is, but something in that sound or a combination thereof, the sound and the video, has taken off, has captured the hearts of multitude, right? Now we all attempt to do that. I would love if my app and I put it out there with one message and it takes off and it captures the hearts of the multitude. We all would love to do that, right? That's kind of the goal. But we can do that eventually. So consistently putting out this content, I believe I will find that message that now the masses will get a hold of this and be able to use this power within themselves. But in the meantime, I might as well leverage what's already captured the hearts of people. These trending sounds have caught the hearts of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people. Because they're doing the sound, because there's something in it that's like, yo, the beat's so dope, the groove, the lyric, the movement, whatever. Something in this sound has me keep on, has caught me addicted and has me continually to watch, right? And so that's what we're using when we do TikToks. We're saying, let's use that power, whatever's going on with this trending sound, let's just use that for us and our benefit and our career and our channel, right? So I'm going to be teaching people how the things that are in this app, how to use TikTok. We're all going to be doing a TikTok, right? So not only will they learn how to use it, they'll actually use it. And then what I want to see, because I'm saying this beforehand, is I'm believing that it's going to be one, if not multiple people that go viral in this conference as a result of this, session. I believe that, okay? And so hopefully we see it. I want to get a testimonial from somebody that actually went viral as a result of them posting it. But what I do know is this. I do know that anyone that uses the strategies that I'll be teaching at the Black Equity Con for this TikTok, or even in this app, anybody that uses these strategies will get more results, more hits, likes, comments, engagement on a TikTok than you will any other app. I know it's going to happen, right? Unless, right? Not even unless, but there are a couple caveats. Like if you're Country Wayne and you're already getting millions of hits on Facebook, right? If Country Wayne comes up with a post on TikTok, it may not do well as this post on Facebook because the algorithm is already working in his favor on Facebook. Okay, but for anyone who's just starting out, right? If you're under, 100,000 followers or even 50,000 followers, if you're under that threshold, you're trying to get the attention of the algorithm, right? You're trying to get into that groove where they can start prioritizing your content. They meaning the machine, the algorithm, right? You want them to start prioritizing your content. Well, TikTok is the easiest way to get the attention of that machine to allow your content to get the most likes, comments, views, engagement, attention. Okay, so super excited to teach that. Super excited for you all to be with me on this journey. I don't see any comments, and so if you got any questions, go ahead and leave a comment while I wrap up. Because I do want to take some time to address any questions that people may have that are in this app. Because again, this entire session is about you. It's not about me, right? I want to empower all of you to get the most of your social media platforms. Again, not for social media's sake, for your own dreams and goals' sake, right? As long as you hold a phone in your hand and you have access to myself or this app, you cannot say, I don't know how to achieve my dreams. I don't know how to get my bank account full. I don't know how to, become an actor, or to write my book, or to get out my movie, or to sing my song, or drop my album, whatever. You can't say that because the information is here. It exists. The strategy is here. It's just a matter of, are you going to do it, and are you going to do it consistently? Okay? I still don't see any questions, but in my final moments, I actually had a person email me to unsubscribe from the app. Now, I always hate when that happens, right? Because I feel like I'm giving out so much value. So to see someone remove themselves from the value, it saddens me. So it's not even about losing the money, because it's really not about that. It's, I know I'm giving out game and information that can change lives. But what was sadder was when they said they wanted to remove, they said because they actually bought the app for someone else who is not using it. And I'm like, oh man, that is just awful. Because myself, these tools that I'm giving you and the information I'm giving you are not just tools and tips that I've heard. This is not theory. This isn't a history lesson of what's occurred. If anything, this is a future lesson of what's to come. I'm literally giving you the to date, right now, hot off the press, tips, tricks, and ideas and things that you need to gain traction today, to gain engagement today. And I know it's working because I'm doing it not just for myself, but I'm doing it for dozens of other folks, dozens of other clients, right? To the tune of, I've got a client who's right now making 50 grand a month from Facebook. Okay? I've got another client who's making, 40,000 a month from YouTube. Right? We see these numbers these aren't fake numbers. They used to be fake before I saw it for myself with my own eyes, and as I'm posting the content, I'm seeing the numbers flow in. Okay? It used to be fake until I saw it myself, right? And so for you all, I wanted to, give you all that encouragement that these are all very real, attainable goals. You know what I mean? 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, even 100,000 a month is absolutely attainable. But imagine, even if you don't get there, imagine just getting an extra 5 grand a month, right, from your social media content. That's also doing what you love to do. Okay? Imagine just that little extra money. Okay? That could help so many people. And if not you, hopefully can help someone else. And the subscription of this app pales in comparison to the value that you'll get if you just do the things that I'm teaching right within here. So spread the word. For every one person that drops off that doesn't get the value, I'm hoping 100 people will, right? Because we do have the potential to change lives. That's actually my motto. E-Tre Productions, changing lives through vision. I want to change lives for the positive of people, through what they see, right? And so help me do that, right? Help me give people their power back. Help me empower the masses by spreading the word. Don't just be selfish, look at this video and say, oh, Eugene's handsome. He did a great job. I mean, thank you. But I do want you to also share this with someone who you feel like has a gift, has a talent, has a skill, and maybe the world just hasn't seen it yet. Maybe they don't have the money they need. Maybe they don't have the resources they need. But they have a phone. Okay? If they have a phone, they will benefit from this. Thank you, wife. So if they have a phone, they'll benefit from this. And as a beneficiary, then I'm doing my job. Okay. So thank you so much for joining, guys. Again, spread the word about this app, and I will see y'all on the next live. If you're in Miami, make sure you check out blackequitycon.com. And hopefully you can join me. My session is at 11 a.m. Thursday, right? But the rest of the speakers, David Shands and the team put together an amazing lineup. So it's going to be full of a whole lot of value. So if you can make it down to Miami for this Black Equity Con, that would be extremely valuable as well. All right, guys, I will see you all on the next one. Thanks so much for joining, and peace.